Welcome to the CTV podcast. I am your host, Justin, and today we are here with part two of episode one, where we're going to be talking about the 2019 and 2020 seasons for the Los Angeles Rams. I just want to start off this episode by acknowledging the fact that I was completely blown away with the response from episode 1. I 100% did not expect to get over 30 views within the first 24 hours. That is just mind blowing to me. I could not dream of having that kind of start to my channel. I just want to start this episode off by acknowledging that and saying thank you and letting you guys know that I'm completely and utterly grateful and appreciative of that, and I just hope that you guys can keep coming back and listening to more. So now in today's episode, we're going to be talking about that 2019 season that you could look at as a Super Bowl hangover season, and that 2020 season where a decision was made that you needed to move on from Jared Goff. We're going to start with the 2019 season, that Super Bowl hangover season. I alluded to it last episode where we had three super teams. I firmly believe that team in 2019 was a super team that just missed the playoffs. Let me go down the roster. On offense, you had Brandon Cooks, Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods, Todd Gurley, Tyler Higbee, Gerald Everett, with Jared Goff as a quarterback. I personally don't see Jared Goff making that team a super team, but him being there, able to get the job done, he should be able to carry that team to multiple wins. Then you go on the defensive side. Yes, they lost a couple big names in the Ndamukong Suh, and they lost a couple more people that season. But the people that they were able to gain was safety Eric Weddle, linebacker Clay Matthews, and then mid-season they traded Marcus Peters and Aqib Talib and got Jalen Ramsey. They still had Dante Fowler. They had Aaron Donald. So basically, at the end of the year, the team on defense, Eric Weddle, Jalen Ramsey, Dante Fowler, Aaron Donald. That's not a slouch team by any stretch of the imagination. That is damn near a super team on that defense. It was really a super team when it was Clay Matthews, Marcus Peters, Aqib Talib, Eric Weddle, and Aaron Donald. But that team was underperforming, so they had to make moves. That season was a really good season. They had a lot of really good games, but that season was defined by the fact that Sean McVay was a run-first coach, and Todd Gurley's knee wasn't the healthiest ending from the 2018 season. So the 2019 season was pretty much seeing if he was still going to be that workhorse back. And it was a 16-game season where the man never rushed for over 100 yards. The Todd Gurley that we all came to know and love in LA was no more. So, and then it's just a matter of you mixing that with the fact that Jared Goff is not a franchise quarterback, and he is not a quarterback that can elevate your team to that next level and get the job done when all the pressure is put on him. All you have to do is stack the box with 7 men. Jared doesn't know how to read coverages like that. He doesn't know how to go around that, check out of certain things. You come with a blitz, you're either stopping the run or you're sacking him. So you're just blitzing. Soon as teams figured that out, it was a pretty easy way to beat us in 2019. So the games that we won, it was games that the defense just did not put 7 people in the box, and offensively you did not try to go outside of Jalen Ramsey. You look at any game, a team just threw the ball within 3 to 5 seconds to avoid Aaron Donald and was just throwing the ball to the other side of the field of Jalen Ramsey. and then on defense just stack the box, you would destroy the Rams. And that's what leads you to the next season, the 2020 season. In the 2020 season, it was not a super team. In the 2020 season, it was a very mortal team with Jared Goff at the helm and that same vulnerability to be defeated. All you had to do was stack the box because they didn't know which running back they were going to throw out there. If it was going to be rookie Cam Akers, if it was going to be third year Malcolm Brown, or if it was going to be second year Darrell Henderson, because none of them could stay healthy. So, no dominant and effective run game. All we're doing is blitzing Jared Goff all night. So, 2020, that's how we lose to the Miami Dolphins when the guy has 4 turnovers. In Tua Tagovailoa's first NFL start, when his first play, dropping back in the pocket, is a strip sack by Aaron Donald. We should have washed them. People don't realize this, but in 2020, we lost to the Jets. It was a very easy way to beat the team, and you could beat any team in the league and beat the Rams. And in my personal opinion, decisions were made. I personally saw the decision made to move on from Jared Goff in the game, a mixture of the Baltimore Ravens game in 2019 and the second San Francisco 49ers game in 2019. But I could definitely see where everybody was saying the organization decided to move on from him after that New York Jets game in 2020. I am big in, like I said in the first episode at the beginning, when I'm into the team, I divulge, I deep dive, I know everything. The reports that I was hearing at the end of the 2020 season when Jared Goff broke his thumb and they brought the backup quarterback in for a week of practice before they played the Arizona Cardinals. They were saying that was the best week of practice all season because the defense felt rejuvenized at the fact that it's possible that there was going to be optimism at the quarterback position. The receivers felt like it was possible that they were going to have more availabilities because it was going to be something new, so you couldn't just come with that stacked box defense. It was a quarterback who showed some signs of mobility in John Wolford, so it was like, oh shit, Sean McVay can open up the playbook. The game starts against the Cardinals, and the guy can't complete a pass. That's what makes me wonder. If they've seen the guy in practice, they knew he couldn't complete a pass. So why were they so excited that he was coming into the game to replace Jared Goff? That's when I knew that something was wrong. Now, Jared does come into the game after Jamal Adams did one of the cheapest hits I've personally ever seen on a defenseless quarterback. But we're not going to get into that. Jared comes in, starts off the drive by throwing a dot to Cooper Kupp on Jamal Adams where he got his shit snagged on and fucked up. Jared ends up scoring that drive. We get points. We end up washing Seattle in that wild card round. Jared takes us to Lambeau. From the 2020 season, that last game against the Green Bay Packers when we were in Lambeau Field. And this is why it was so sad. That was one of the best games Jared Goff had played in the last 2 years. Jared Goff hadn't played like that since the 2018 season. And the only problem was we lost. Jared played a phenomenal game in his last game for the Rams. And I'm gonna take you right up until the trade before I end the episode, just because of the way all this is coming. I need to get it all out. If you listened and watched as after that Green Bay game, it was the most insane way the trade happened. 3 days before the trade happened, Les Snead was on a Zoom interview, and somebody asked him, "Is Jared Goff your quarterback? Is he the quarterback for the Rams? Is he you guys' guy for the future?" I can't remember exactly the date, but he said, "What's today's date?" And then he said the day, and then he said, "On this day, at this time, Jared Goff is our quarterback. I can't say anything about the future." I will never forget being in my apartment. I want to say it was like 9 o'clock at night, 8 or 9 o'clock at night. LA time, it was like 6, 7 o'clock when I got that ESPN notification that Jared Goff had been traded. And my eyes started to water just at the fact that he had been traded because I wanted him gone. Then I continued to read, and the shit said for Matthew Stafford. I can show you the screenshots of messages throughout the year where I've claimed this chip since last year in January when the trade happened. I called everybody in my phone letting them know Matthew Stafford is winning a championship this year. The Los Angeles Rams are back and they are taking over the NFL. On the next episode of the CTV podcast, it is going to be part 3 and the finale of episode 1, where I deep dive and break down the 2021 season, where my Los Angeles Rams were able to capture the world championship. And I will discuss where I see us going into this 2022 season. I hope you enjoyed listening, and I hope you were able to catch a vibe.